What is up, you freaky folks? My name's Nick. Welcome to my channel, where I cover all things horror. Whatever you're watching, I'm making videos about. And on Saturdays, I like to take a look at my favorite streaming service, Shudder, to find a solid horror movie recommendation for you guys. And this week, I want to talk about The Void, a Canadian cosmic supernatural cult monster movie. Yeah, it's all that stuff. In it, a group of random people become trapped in a rural hospital when hooded cult members surround the building. Characters begin acting strangely, and soon they are all under attack from mysterious creatures. This movie is very obviously inspired by John Carpenter's filmography. It feels like the filmmakers were like, what if we did The Thing meets Assault on Precinct 13, but set in the most untrustworthy looking hospital of all time? Seriously, there are like 6 people on staff. Is this Amish country? The film as a whole harkens back to 80s horror with the cult and the gore and the archetypal characters. It's an amalgamation of a lot of our favorite things. The Void opens with this brutal opening sequence which leads to a police officer escorting a man to this rundown hospital. Some fire has ravaged the town, so it's mostly empty, except for this cult looking to go way beyond that Heaven's Gate bullshit. Of course, the police officer and the head nurse have a complicated relationship. We're introduced to some funny side characters, and some interesting and mysterious characters pop up in a little bit, but unfortunately, they don't make the movie any more engaging. In fact, as it plays out, I find The Void to become less and less interesting as it plays, which is the exact opposite of how I want a movie like this to turn out. And because the focus is so heavily on the visuals and the effects, we don't get the time to really connect with any of these characters in a meaningful way. But I know most people will say, ignore that nonsense, this movie is purely about the effects. Well, listen, I appreciate practical effects just as much as anyone. I fully see how they were able to crowdfund the money in order to afford the effects for this movie, because as horror fans love it, we support it, it's what we want. But I have to say, there are some scenes in this movie where it looks like they weren't able to film the practical effects in the way that they would have liked, and it comes off not that great. Simply, it just doesn't look that good a lot of the time. While all of that stuff can be fun on a surface level, unfortunately, I just don't think The Void has enough of its own original material to bring to the table. At the end of the day, this is an enjoyable movie, and I would recommend watching it. But this is what I wanted to talk about, because I remember seeing this movie when it came out. I know when it was released on VOD, shortly after it was on Netflix. I caught it then, loved it, watched it several times. I've seen it now like 5 times, and I have to say, it's one of those movies where I watch, and it's like I just can't seem to pay attention to it. I see all the fun stuff happening on screen and go, that's a good movie, I like that. But then I can't seem to remember anything about it. I mean, anytime. Like, I just can't manage to pay attention to this movie. The Void comes on, and I just go vacuum. I might not even need to vacuum, and I'm just out there vacuuming the sidewalk, because for some reason, I cannot pay attention to this movie. I had to watch it twice in order to do this review. And after sitting down and sucking this whole movie into my eyeballs, I just have to say it doesn't really hold up against the movie that I had in my mind. But here's the thing. I think it's perfectly okay for us as viewers to change our minds about movies. I know some people will see a movie and they think they're never going to change their mind about it, but I don't know how we couldn't form different opinions as we grow older and times change. But at the same time, I think if we find a movie that's maybe only half good, we should still feel perfectly okay enjoying that movie. The Void is a tad been there, done that, and it may be too nostalgia-driven for some people, but if you're looking for throwback thrills, I definitely recommend it. I'm gonna give The Void a 2.5 out of 5. What did you guys think of it? I have to be perfectly honest, I missed a Shudder review a couple weeks ago because I was planning on doing this movie. I not only wrote, but recorded and edited an entire video, and then I was like, it wasn't good. It just wasn't good, so I didn't post it. So I redid it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Feel free to follow me on Instagram if you want to stay up to date with any sneak peeks and what I've got going on and planned for the channel. Subscribe if you would like. I would greatly appreciate it, of course, and I would super greatly appreciate it if you hit that bell so you can be on the lookout for all future uploads, because I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm about to spam your stream. I'm telling you, I've got lots of Halloween content coming your way. I'm so excited to talk about all of the best horror movies on all of our favorite streaming services. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you again so much. Greatly appreciated, as always. That is it for this video, but I won't stop you from watching another.